What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Game, episode 89. This is the average man's perspective on football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Joining me in the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Next up, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Wow.
Selling the records. They come to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
So before we get started tonight, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're also at Twitter at The Live Game 3, and we're also on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. So week 2 is in the books. We had a lot of good games, had some upsets, at least according to me. But overall, it was a good week. Good day to sit around on Sunday watching football. Herman is hosting the show tonight. Go ahead and lead us off, Herman.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us. And like Marcus said, it's always a good Sunday to sit around and watch football. So we're going to go over some NFL news. We're going to hit you with some hot topics that we want to discuss. We're going to review last week's games, and we're going to pick this week's games. And then we'll give y'all final thoughts, and we will be out for tonight. So kicking off our first news story, we're going to hear from Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
What's going on, Brian?
A little technical difficulty.
Oh.
Should have read that, right? Should have read the thing down, huh?
Y'all get on me.
All right, so the news that I got to tell y'all is that last week, Texans head coach David Culley announced Monday that despite the injury to Tyrod Taylor, that Deshaun Watson will still be inactive for Thursday's game against the Panthers. They're actually going to start the rookie, so good luck, bro.
No.
Davis,
they play tomorrow night, too.
Yeah, I wonder who's backing up.
That's the thing. They were talking about they had to bring somebody from the practice squad up to back him up. So,
Lord.
I mean, it's just, I sit here thinking about it. I'm like, how did they get here?
Might be time to call Cam.
I know, but still, you still got this dude on your roster. He is wasting a roster spot. You are paying him, and you're not getting anything for him.
You can't trade him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, what they should do is they should go ahead and activate him and make the NFL put him on the exempt list, and then they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, or something. I mean, and did they waste the time and by not doing anything with him, by asking for too much? Not necessarily asking for too much, but realizing that they're not going to get what they're asking for, and now they're here. I mean, it's just like it seemed like poor planning on their part, just in case, because it ain't like Tyrod has ever been like that type of quarterback that's going to last every year.
Do y'all not see in the rundown says news of the week, no discussion?
Yeah. Sorry. But that's a topic we probably should.
Hey man, what's the name of the show?
Right.
Hey, but I do.
What's my name?
Hey, I do agree.
I sell the records.
I do agree that they need to studies for and make them. But I mean, it's crazy. All this money and you got them sitting up. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they need to activate him so the NFL will put him on the exempt list, and then
that's actually a pretty that would alleviate anything, because then they get that roster spot back, right?
Yeah, I believe
he's
so.
on that list.
Yeah, I believe so.
That makes a lot more sense, because it's just like you kind of messed yourself up, and he ain't gonna play for you even if you wanted him to.
How we know the NFL will put him on the pup list?
They got to do something.
Not the pup list. They would likely do it. I mean. All right, so let's move on to the next news topic. Packers running back Aaron Jones, on his way to a 4-touchdown night, was wearing a chain, and he lost that chain, and around his neck was his father's ashes. So, right after the game, they interviewed him, and he said, I lost the chain. And he told everybody, he said, but my dad would be happy where it is. He's probably smiling down because he wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But then, fortunately, around 1:45 in the morning, the chain was found that contained his father's ashes by one of the team trainers. So he got that back. Can't say I'd be wearing that around my neck during the game, but I mean, I get what he wanted to do, but I don't know.
You think he learned from Michael Crabtree about wearing chains around his neck.
And
but
so
at the same time, I guess he wanted them close to his heart, close to him. He just lost him from it was COVID related issues. I think his father.
Yeah, he probably died from COVID. Yeah.
So I mean, and he had a phenomenal game. I mean, he balled out.
He did. So let's throw to Marcus for the next news story.
So Broncos defensive end Bradley Chubb will undergo surgery on his ankle. Having re-injured his ankle on Sunday against the Jaguars, Chubb will undergo I never put this word and a procedure Wednesday on his ankle and hopes to return this season. Yeah, that's what you just said. Procedure Wednesday on his ankle, hopes to return this season. He announced to the team on Tuesday.
That's a big hit for them.
Yeah, they said he had like another bone spur. He's supposed to get it out.
Oh, okay. And for the last news topic, we're going to throw to Mark. Take it away.
Yeah, they just announced a couple of nominees for the Hall of Fame for 2021.
22.
Among the 8 New York Giants, 20. What did I say? 20.
Yes, it's for 2022.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 2022. Right, that's what I said. Some of the names: Tiki Barber, Chris Snead, Justin Tuck, Hunter, Jeff Fiegels, Sean Landana, Herschel Walker, Lomas Brown, and punt returner Brian Mitchell. A couple of other popular names in there: Anquan Bolden, Evan Hester, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith, Jake Long, Nick Mango, linebacker DeMarc, Marcus Mathis, Vince Wilford, and Antonio Adi. I think out of those names, man, the one that really stands out to me is Anquan and Devin. I'm not sure about Justin Tuck, though. I'm not sure about that one.
Devin Hester stands
a couple
out
of
to
names
you?
real quick. I'm going to read for you, too. Yeah, Hester stands out, yes. Randall Cunningham, Mike Allstat, Scott George, Torrey Holt. These are some of the folks that were among the already on the basically was nominated a couple at their earlier stage, but they still didn't get put in. But needless to say, they're eligible. I did say Steve Smith. Hines Ward is eligible. Tony Pacelli, Jared Allen, Richard Seymour, Sam Mills, great linebacker for the Carolina. Patrick Willis, I thought was surprising to me. Zach Thomas, Rondé Barber, and Leroy Butler, I should say.
122 on the list.
I think they're going to narrow it down, but
Well,
that's
yeah.
like the ones
Did,
that are eligible.
Yeah, they're on nominated. And then you got Cliff Branch White from the
Raiders.
Oakland Raiders, time or the what they consider the old what is it called, the not Centennial, but for a long time achievement and all.
Yeah.
Dick Vermeil is mentioned in there as a coach. Yeah, see, Dick Vermeil is also in there, also, and then the referee, what's his name, Matt McNally, I should say. So we shall see.
All right, so that's our news for the night. We're going to go ahead and move into our hot topics. We're going to have 2 different discussions. So the first discussion of the 2-0 teams, who is least likely to make the playoffs? And I'm going to list the 2-0 teams: the 49ers, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Bucks, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Broncos. And then on the flip side of the 0-2 teams, who is more likely to make the playoffs? The Giants, the Vikings, the Falcons, the Jets, the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Lions. I'll let Marcus start this one off.
Of the 2-0 teams, that's pretty rough. I want to say the Raiders, even though they have looked very good these past 2 weeks, because I just don't trust them. But if I had to go with my gut, I would probably say the Panthers, only because I believe that all the NFC West teams will make the playoffs, so there won't be room for a second team out of division, and the Bucs are definitely going to make the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Brian?
I agree with Marcus. And be honest with you, I could make an argument either way, why they would definitely make it or why they wouldn't. But out of this list, the Panthers is the one team that does jump out to me. They do. Their defense looks really, really good. Strength of schedule is kind of what's swaying me right now. I mean, they beat the Jets, so I mean, is that a big whoop? So I guess out of all of them, I'm gonna take the Panthers.
Mark?
According to how I had my prediction as far as the how the AFC, I definitely don't have the Broncos in it, so the Broncos gonna have to be mine. I don't see. As far as the teams that are from the bottom, I think all of them are where they're supposed to be or where I had them rated at. I said about it was probably the Vikings. So mine will be the Broncos and the Vikings.
All right. So, I'm gonna go with the Panthers also because they haven't really beaten anybody just yet, and they are only 2-0. They have looked good in their games, but
I don't look real good.
Yeah, I don't really have too much faith in them. They're still a young team, and they do have Darnold. So
yeah, who saw Ghost a couple seasons ago? So.
Yeah, I'm not convinced with him. As for the 0-2 team who would be more likely to make the playoffs, that's a rough one. I think I'd probably go with the Colts, only because I felt like the Colts were going to contend for their division. And with the Titans starting off, a little slow, they are 1-1 now. But with the Titans starting off the way that they did, they showed a little bit of weakness, a little bit of vulnerability for the Colts to possibly get them. Now, you don't know who the quarterback's going to be for the Colts. But out of those 0-2 teams, I would pick the Colts. Brian, did you pick a team?
No, Marcus, who did you pick?
Yeah,
I didn't either.
Yeah,
for the 0-2 teams, I'm going to side with Mark. I'm probably say the Vikings because the Vikings have looked real good in their losses. They came very close to beating Arizona on Sunday, and I think the previous game they didn't. I don't think they got blown out. And they got that. What's the running back's name?
Cook.
Dalvin Cook. And he's a
Cook.
Yeah, he's a beast. And as much as I hate to give Kirk any props, he's doing pretty good this season. So if I had to pick, it'd probably be the Vikings.
Yeah, man. If the Lions could put
that hurt you to say that, didn't it?
If the Lions could put 4 quarters together, they might be. I mean, they tried to give the Niners a run for their money in the third and fourth quarter, and then this last Monday night they tried to give the Panthers the Packers a heart attack with the first half. But I agree with you two guys. I think that the Vikings are going to be the best one to possibly make it to the playoffs. They should have won Sunday. If it wasn't for a kicker who couldn't make a 34-yard field goal, they would have beat the Cardinals and been 1-1. Yeah. But they need to do something with that defense. That defense, and that's what their head coach is famous for. But they need to put some work into that because teams are running, passing, doing anything they want on that defense. So
yeah, that's got to be rough on Mike Zimmer too. Yes, because like you said, he is a defensive guy, and that defense is looking real ugly right now.
Like I always wonder, like the defensive coordinator on a team with a defensive-based head coach, and the defense is doing terrible. does he just hate to even make eye contact with the head coach?
But I mean, he's running.
Most of the time, they go take over. They be like, "I'll just do it."
Yeah, but he's got to be running the system. But it's just like.
Do you think he's calling the plays though?
No, the coordinator's calling the plays most likely. Yeah,
But I'm sure he has a lot of input.
I think Mike Zimmer might actually call his defenses.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think he might actually call his defense because I remember they were talking about this blitz that he likes to call. Then they were talking about that last year, so he might be calling his defenses, but he better do something because and special teams they've been hurting with the kicker too because they had Bailey, and he was up and down too.
Wasn't that one of y'all ex kickers, Bailey?
Yeah, he was our ex kicker.
he was automatic for years.
Yeah, so. You have to do something with it. That kicker is important. I mean, it can come down to a kick every week, and if you don't trust your kicker, that's gonna be a problem. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. So we all know the NFL instituted this new taunting rule, and it's been kind of heavily enforced so far this season.
$11 made so far.
11 already. Yeah. So, what do you guys think about it? Did the league, go too far with this rule, or is this a good rule? Is the rule warranted in the NFL? I'll let you start, Mark. Hey, Eddie, we got a structure.
Mark ain't selling no records.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, I'm kind of torn in between it. I can understand they want to clean up the game and all, make it more of sportsman-like. But let's be honest, this is actually going against a lot of black athletes. You know this, right? Because we seem the one to do most of the stuff. Most of the call goes against 90%
of the NFL is probably black.
I think it's too.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
what
not
I'm saying,
90%.
we normally ones. Yeah, but I still think it's too early right now to really make a call on it. For me, I just don't like the effort on about. So right now I'm in the middle with it. I understand you're trying to make it clean up, make it better sportsmanship, but I don't know. I'm kind of still on the fence on it right now.
Marcus,
I'm kind of in the middle too. Like the only one that gets me, and that if I was a player would drive me crazy, is the one where someone is like standing over you. Like you're like in between the legs and standing over you. That personally would drive me. That would make me want to fight. So yeah, I think all those should be called, but some of the others, I'm not so sure. I mean, it's a game. People are hyped up, especially when you make a big play, and you've shut as a corner, you shut down a star wide receiver, or as a star wide receiver, you mossed somebody on a DB on a catch,
then you can stand over him?
No, not stand over him. I'm just saying other stuff.
Oh, then you can spin the ball at their feet?
Yeah, spin the ball at their feet or something like that.
You can
flex on them?
You can flex.
Yeah, you can flex. Like the only one I care about is stand over. So to me, I think that's just totally disrespectful. But I mean,
what if they stand on your logo? What if they dance on your logo?
I think that might be a little bit too much. That might be a little bit too much. But see, I also feel like it's very easy to avoid. Instead of, say you make a big play, instead of focusing your attention toward a player, just focus it to the crowd, or
that's exactly,
or to the end zone, or go to one of your other players, and one of your own teammates. I think it's a very easy penalty to avoid. I don't think it's that hard. Like I doubt they keep. I mean, if the coaches start getting on the players, I doubt that this gets called a lot, because I just feel like it's very easy to avoid. Just focus your attention, because anybody said you can't celebrate. Just focus your attention not to an opposing player.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, this rule has been on the books for a long time, but I guess it wasn't being enforced as properly. Like, I guess last year, the NFL, felt like, the biggest, one was, of course, Tyreek Hill and the corner or the DB, was a safety from San Francisco. No, from Tampa Bay. Where they played one game and, Tyreek's waving bye-bye to him and stuff, and then he did it back to him. And I mean, he was real demonstrative to Tyreek in the Super Bowl, but you give and you get. I mean, the game is in motion. These guys are hyped up. You're excited to play. You're jabbing back and forth at each other. It's a battle each play, man. Should you be throwing balls at people's feet? Probably not. But, I mean, these are grown men. Man, if you don't want them to do it, stop them.
Well, I don't have a problem with the rule because I think Marcus hit it on the head. The easiest is easily avoided. That's not sportsmanship, and it's no place for it in the game, in my opinion. You can celebrate with your teammate. You don't have to stand over anybody. You don't have to spin the ball at nobody's feet. All it does.
So just real quick, Herman. So we all play dominoes.
Yeah.
You gonna turn around and slam the last domino or somebody?
That's different though. That's slamming the domino is part of the game.
No, it's not. It's not in the rule book to slam the dominoes and try to break the table.
Game. Just like when you slap a spade down on the table. That's part of the game.
That's totally different. You would get a 15-yard penalty.
That's totally different though. It's totally different.
That's exactly what it is. It's more. We going back and forth. We talking smack on.
Is it in the rule book? Is it in the rules for it? Does it require you to do that in the rules?
No,
it don't require you to do it, but
it doesn't require you to do it. It's just
it's common knowledge.
Then it shouldn't be part of the game.
But see, what you talk? Wait. But what you're talking about is okay. You talking about dominoes, right? And during spades, that's during a play. Right? What they're enforcing is stuff that happens after a play. So it's not part of the game. You're supposed to be going back to the huddle to run the next play, not celebrating in somebody's face. So see, it's different. I think as grown men and they need to be a little more mature anyway. So go celebrate with your teammate and stop making it an individual thing.
I mean, it's definitely avoidable. If you want to flex toward the crowd.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. I
understand, man. But you guys know that them two, that wide receiver in that corner out there, and they are talking smack to each other every freaking play. They going on and on and this talk about their mothers and their fathers and all this stuff. You want to get him so bad, man. I'm shutting you down. You ain't gonna catch nothing. And when you finally catch it, you want to let him know I caught it on your Bama tail.
But Brian, what's the look? And we do this all the time. When the Cowboys and the Washington team play, and when we beat them, a lot of times we don't even say nothing because we already know we in their head.
Right.
So it works both ways.
Right. But you see how Facebook blow up if we ever catch a loss.
Because that's them. That's not right. Like I had a debate with my cousin online. We were talking about this rule, right? Because he was like, "Oh, Lamar should have been flagged because he's a Chiefs fan." So of course he was in.
Oh, when he did that flip?
Yeah,
but it wasn't directed at nobody.
And that's what I tried to tell him. I said that wasn't directed at nobody. He just flipped into the end zone, but he was super mad about losing.
That's true.
So he wasn't trying to hear none of that. But it's just like if you, like Marcus said, direct it somewhere else. No penalty. It's as simple as that.
It's entertainment. I mean. We watch. I know wrestling is fake, but if you watch, wrestling, that's all they do. It's entertainment. It makes the game funner to me. But it doesn't bother me.
But in wrestling, they when they flex with it, they do it with the crowd. They don't really do it to the wrestler.
And again, it's part of the act. Oh, I shouldn't say act. It's part of the match.
No, you can say it now. That's why they're sports entertainment.
That's part of the act. You're right. It's part of the act.
But the real reason why they, and this is way off course, the real reason why they call it sports entertainment is so they can't be regulated by any sporting league. That's why they stopped calling it wrestling. It's calling it sport entertainment.
Interesting.
Because if it's classified as a sport, they can start being regulated.
And start like testing for sport, enhancements and all that type of stuff. Yeah. All right, so that's one we'll have to keep an eye on. But grown men, you should be able to avoid this penalty. Just don't.
You keep saying grown men; they're in their 20s.
They're still grown.
Men.
They're millionaires.
Is Darian grown?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking Herman.
I'm
asking Herman. Is Darian grown?
Can he
If he
join
was in
the
the
army?
NFL,
And Herman, is there even no? Just answer the question, yes or no.
Can he join the military where they put
Answer the
a
question, yes or no.
Can he join the military where they put a gun in his hand and send him overseas to kill somebody and be killed?
Whatever.
That's grown. That's grown.
Whatever.
That's grown. Ain't he 21?
you do that at 18, actually. So
Do you know how dumb we were at 18 to 24? I mean, we was dumb. We
we
weren't.
wouldn't
I
get
was
paid
very- I
millions
was very
of dollars. Hey, look, maybe that'll help to mature them so they don't do the dumb stuff off the field too. So
Let's have a little bit of
all right,
fun
let's
in
move
there.
on.
All right.
Let's move on. All right. So let's get into these games. We're going to review last week's games, and we are going to start off with Thursday night's game, which was the New York Football Giants traveling to Washington, D.C. to take on the WTF team.
Disrespect. Watch the football team.
WTF team. This one, it came down to the wire, and the Giants pretty much kind of gift wrapped the game for the Washington team. Washington pulled it off with a 30-29 win on a last-minute field goal. Daniel Jones was 22 for 32, 249 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 4 times. Taylor Heineken, 34. Taylor Heineken, 34 for 46, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Washington team fans seem to think they found their franchise quarterback. One of the fans we know went out and picked him up in fantasy football. Playing with his heart, but that's okay.
And he dropped Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he dropped Baker
Mayfield.
Mayfield. But hey, that's his thing. You do you. Do you. Daniel Jones was the leading rusher. That sounds weird to say.
Daniel Jones leading. He did run like he did.
Rusher.
It should- He's always the leading rusher.
9 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Saquon had 13 carries, 57 yards. I don't know. Maybe they have him on a pitch count.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the game was, it was close most of the game.
It was. But it don't seem like he even ran too much the second half.
Yeah. Antonio Gibson had 11 carries for 69 yards. Leading receivers was Sterling Shepard, 9 carries, 94 yards, no touchdowns. And Terry McLaurin, 11 catches, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. It was a pretty good game. It was a typical NFC East game, back and forth. The Giants put up a whole lot more of a fight than I expected them to. I don't expect a whole lot of the Giants, as y'all can tell from my prediction. I think I gave them 1-16 or something like that. So I picked the Washington, the WTF team, and I got that one right. Mark, who'd you pick?
And this one, I took the Washington team also. I was impressed with. He came out and I think he managed him pretty well. Done a good job. Terry McLaurin had a fantastic game. I think he had a little coming out party with it. Did good. But man, had the two big plays in there, man, was that holding on that touchdown run for that was back or not?
No.
Did he
that
hold
was
him?
not holding.
It's difficult not to say because he could turn around. I would have been okay if he called no holding. Either way, I would have been okay with it. And then you had the wide open. I think he got it. Missing a touchdown, wide open touchdown. Basically, what killed the game for him. To me, were like the 2 turning points of the game. The offside call at the end for the field goal that basically gave the whole ball game for the Washington team. That's they put up a pretty good, decent fight. And like you said, I think Herman said they put up a much better fight, the Giants, than I anticipated out of them. But it was a pretty good, entertaining game, and I took the Washington team. I was victorious.
Brian.
Yeah, Mark. That whole game, the officiating was terrible. I mean, there was a play for Washington where McKissick was running the ball. He fell down, got up, and then jumped and scooted for the first down.
Oh, yeah.
And they reviewed it, and they put him back, even though nobody touched him. So how the hell they came up with that he was down, I don't understand.
Right.
They consider that he gave himself up because of the way he fell.
Is that what they said?
Because, if you dive forward, depending on how it looks, but that's considered giving yourself up.
I don't know. It looked like he just
maybe
fell
that's
down
what
and he
it
got
was.
up and tried to jump forward. So I don't know, but the WFT team, they put up 407
You
yards with
said it wrong.
Heineken at the helm. I'm
You said it
sorry.
wrong.
No, he did. He said it right. Shut up.
And then the G-men, them fools put up 391 yards. Where was the defense in this game? I mean, this vaunted Washington defense and this Giants defense that's supposed to be growing. How you give up 407 offensive yards against them? Fun fact, though, the Giants are 5-39 when trailing at halftime since 2017, which is the most losses in that span. But I did pick that team in Washington, and I was right.
All right, Marcus, let's hear about your team.
Well, of course, I definitely picked the Washington football team.
I definitely.
I like what I agree with y'all. The Giants put a lot more of a fight than I thought they would. I'm really worried about this defense. This defense is supposed to be so good, but these last two games they've been looking like garbage. I mean, basically the Chargers walked up down the field at will. Basically, the Giants walked up down the field at will. And I mean, come on, don't anybody know about the option read now? I mean, how is Daniel Jones able to run down the field like he's Lamar Jackson and basically outrunning cornerbacks? I'm like, come on, man. I mean,
you know how they got you? They got you on that because of Chase Young. I think he ran that to that side. And Chase Young is so aggressive. He's so aggressive. Mm-hmm.
So it was a win. I was glad it was a win, but I'm very nervous about that defense, and I'm actually not that nervous about the offense, which usually is in reverse. Say what you want about Heineke, he did good. I mean, obviously the coaching staff believe in him because they gave him 46 opportunities to pass the ball. He had 336 yards, 2 touchdowns. So with Antonio Gibson there and McLaurin and Heineke, I'm not worried about the offense at all, but I'm real worried about the defense. It's just not looking good. They got to get together. It's going to be bad, very bad. But I picked the Washington football team.
The Giants had one time possession in the game too. So Washington defense is out there a lot more, and that secondary is a little suspect. So
yeah, and like Brian said,
the time of possession was close between them. It was like,
it was like 3 minutes. Yeah.
And like Brian said, if it wasn't for that, I don't know what that missed pass. I don't know how I don't know. He was wide.
Come on,
they trying to blame it on Danny Dimes saying he overthrew him.
No, I don't think he overthrew him. He just
Marcus, that was me that said that. Thank you.
He always gets it mixed
yes,
up, Marcus.
that
Just let it go, Mark. Just let it flow.
I mean, either one of y'all. I was the same.
Okay.
The black guy at the bottom. We get it.
All right. So moving on, we're going to move into the next game, which was the Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins.
You know what? You might not be able to do this.
Wow,
Herman.
that's
we
a
can't
color.
even see your eyes. Spin it. Let's see what it looks like when it's
Wait,
spinning.
it's not his turn yet. We got to talk.
It's still spin it. Okay.
I'll turn off the green screen so y'all can see it. All right, so y'all a little spin just to start it off. Stop laughing. So the Buffalo Bills went down to Miami and put a whooping on the Dolphins, 35-0. MVP candidate, and I don't know if we can keep saying that this season because he ain't looking so great.
Yeah.
You might have stopped saying MVP candidate Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Josh Allen was 17 for 33, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa went out with a rib injury. Yep, I messed his name up.
Did it? This sound like you was talking about the commissioner, the old Tagovailoa.
Yep, that's him. He went out with a rib injury. So Jacoby Brissett came in. He was 24 for 40, 169 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Leading rusher for the Buffalo Bills was Devin Singletary, 13 carries for 82 yards and 1 touchdown. And the leading rusher for the Dolphins was Myles Gaskin, 5 rushes for 25 yards. This game just got completely out of hand for the Dolphins. Stephon Diggs was the leading receiver, 4 receptions, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle was the leading receiver for the Dolphins, 6 receptions, 48 yards, no touchdowns. Do I go last, I guess.
Yep.
Yes.
Mark, why don't you start this one off?
Yeah, I mean this was a blowout from go. I think the Buffalo Mafia was happy with this one. They were able to run the ball effectively on Miami, and that's what pretty much control it. And poor Tua didn't stand a chance. Yes, I chose the Buffalo Mafia. I think
It's the Bills Mafia,
Josh Allen
Mark.
will be the candidate again. Bills Mafia is back, and I chose the Bills.
Marcus.
I also chose the Bills. Definitely wasn't expecting the blowout we got. But like you said,
You getting all choked up about it, Marcus?
No, I had something in my throat. But Tua going out.
You might want to clean that up.
Oh my God. Kids show, family show.
Tua going out really hurt them. Actually, I'm not even sure it did because I don't know. It just seemed like Buffalo's defense just dominated them because Josh Allen didn't do too much. He only had 179 yards, and Singletary, he averaged 6.3 yards a carry, but he didn't even get over 100. So I think that was mainly we can attribute that mainly to Buffalo's defense, and it'd be interesting to see what happens when they play again. I don't think we'll have that same result, but yeah, picked Buffalo, and I was right.
Brian.
Yeah, Marcus, you're right about that defense because that Bills defense, they held Miami at only 216 total yards, and of course that goose egg on the scoreboard. The Buffalo offense was also benefited from the defense because they were their 5 scoring drives twice they were in Miami territory. And I think like the worst they started at was like their own 25. So they had good field position basically the whole game, on their scoring drives, I should say. So I picked the Bills, and this was an easy one.
Well,
I said this was an easy one, Herman.
Obviously, I picked the Dolphins. It wasn't even a close game. I stand by the fact that Tua going out was the big difference. But as a coach's staff, your backup quarterback should not come in and throw the ball 40 times. Tua went out very early in the game. So, it's not like you were way behind at the time you're starting, your backup quarterback came in. But hopefully Miami can avenge me next time in Buffalo, but I picked the Dolphins and I lone wolfed it and I got it wrong. So I wore the dunce cap
for the first time in 2021.
First time, yep. I'm the first one to wear it, but I won't be the last. Promise that.
Tua, he's not playing this week either. He is.
Well done.
They said he got like a small crack, but I thought they were going to probably put a flak jacket on him and trot him out there, but they don't let him rest.
They talked about that, but I think it was still too much pain, so he couldn't do it. All right, let's move on to the next game. We have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals. This was another close game too. The Cardinals were up big for a while. And then Minnesota stormed back and made it a game and had a chance to win it at the end, but they still dealing with them kicker woes. It was like a 34-yarder or something like that.
Yeah.
32, 34-yarder. It wasn't nothing long, and he just missed it. He just missed it.
Did y'all hear the announcer? The Vikings announcer, he was like, "Oh, he made it! Oh no, he missed it."
So
he was confused.
Yeah. Kyler Murray, MVP candidate Kyler Murray is 29 of 36, 400 yards passing, 3 TDs, 2 picks. Kirk Cousins was 22 for 32, 244 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Leading rusher for the Cardinals was Chase Edmonds, 8 carries on 46 yards. Kyler Murray was behind that with 5 carries for 31 yards. Dalvin Cook is that man. He's doing it again. If you got him on your fantasy team, you already know. 22 carries, 131 yards, no touchdowns. Leading receiver for the Cardinals was Rondell Moore, 7 receptions, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. Leading receiver for the Vikings was KJ Osborne, 5 receptions, 91 yards. I'll start this one off. I picked the Cardinals, and I got it right. The way the Cardinals are playing right now, they are putting everybody in the NFL on notice. Like I said, Kyle Murray is playing at an MVP level right now. It's like everybody has bought into Cliff Kingsbury's system on that team, and they are out there balling. I mean, I didn't expect this from the Cardinals. I really didn't. But I picked the Cardinals. I got it right. It's going to be hard to pick against the Cardinals right now. And Marcus, your prediction that all four teams from that division are going to the playoffs is really looking good right now. I'll throw that one to you, Marcus.
Yeah, I also picked the Cardinals. This was a great game. Like you said, Kyler Murray is just showing out. Watching him out there, it's like I feel like it's that first season that you saw Patrick Mahomes, coming debuting and doing what he do. Like you said, they're definitely buying in this Cliff Kingsbury system, and I'm glad they're having this early success. Like we got to see if it lasts throughout the season. Because if anybody was I kind of felt like he was on a hot seat maybe a little bit this season, but if they keep it up, his job would be safe. But I picked the Cardinals and I was right.
Brian, who'd you pick?
Yeah, I was with you guys. I also picked the Cardinals, and I mean, I guess we got like a running theme this week because again, the Vikings put up 419 yards offensively. The Cardinals put up 474 yards. There's no defense being played in the NFL right now. I mean, teams are just going up and down the field, scoring at will. So, again, if you got a decent kicker that can make a 37-yarder, you would have had a W in the books. But now the Vikings got that loss. So I got that one right out the skin of my teeth.
And Mark, wrap it up.
Yeah, I was with you guys with Cardinals too. This was a fun game, man. We're going up and down the field. Luckily for Cardinals, could nail a 30-something yard field goal to win it. Minnesota really should have won this game, but nice to see all the weapons that Cardinals have. The acquisition of them getting AJ Green opens up so much stuff. The other known wide receiver, Rondell Moore from Purdue, was a star. You guys don't know this dude he is phenomenal. He runs kickoff returns for him. They left him wide open. They got about him on defense, and he burnt them up and down the field. Sunday. Marcus, what you?
Also, you got to look at Christian Kirk. Like I hadn't really knew too much about him before these last 2 Arizona games, but he's been balling out the last 2 games too. So he seemed like another weapon for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they got plenty of weapons, man. But I took the Cardinals on it, and I was right.
I mean, D-Hop only had 54 yards receiving in this game. That's crazy. And he's your number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on. We're going to move to the next one. The Titans took on the Seahawks. Went down and did they win that in overtime?
Yeah, they go overtime.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they did. They won that in overtime, 33-30. Seahawks were up in this game. Took the Titans a while to get going. They're slow starting. They're slow starting this season, these games this year, and they're playing catch up every time. But Ryan Tannehill was 27 for 40, 347 yards, no touchdowns. I don't like Tannehill throwing that much. Derrick Henry was 35 carries, 182 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver for the Titans was Julio Jones, 6 receptions, 128 yards. Derrick Henry was behind that, 6 receptions for 55 yards. On the Seahawks side, Russell Wilson was 22 for 31, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chris Carson, 13 carries for 31 yards. 2 touchdowns. They need to get him more involved in the play, in the game plan too.
Who's this?
Tyler, Chris Carson, running back for Seattle. They need to get him more involved. Tyler Lockett, 8 receptions, 178 yards, 1 touchdown.
I keep telling y'all, Tyler Lockett is the real deal. I had him one season.
I had him last year.
He was getting me mad points. I don't know how he don't get. It seems like he don't get that much credit though, but he's a real deal.
Yeah, he's just not named with all the big receivers, but he's out there. He's balling. Brian, who'd you pick?
In this one, I picked the Seahawks to win. I when it was like it was 24-9 at like the half, and man, Henry, that dude before at the half he ran 13 times. He only had 35 yards, and like Herman said, that Bama ended up with 182 yards and them 3 touchdowns. He also added on 6 catches for 85 yards. The Titans know what they need to do. I don't know what they were thinking in the first half. They need to run the ball. They need to get Henry going in the fourth quarter so that he can just beat up on these teams. I mean, he, like you said, Marcus, you talking about running DBs. He was doing it again. He did it again. I mean, that dude is just big, fast, and once he gets going forward, it's hard to stop. So I picked the Seahawks. I picked this one wrong, but that was a good win for the Titans. They needed that.
They definitely did. Marcus, who'd you pick?
I also picked the Seahawks. I mean, I was kind of shocked the Titans was able to go into that stadium and pull out a win like that. Especially, like I said, they were down a lot at one point. But Herman, you said that you don't like Tannehill passing that much. I'm just surprised he had to with all those doggone carries that Henry had.
A lot of that came in the third. I think the third and fourth. Late in the third, fourth quarter, and in overtime.
Yeah, but that's true. But I was just shocked. But the Titans need this. According to my predictions, beginning of the season, I was very big on the Titans. So the Titans definitely need this win. But I picked the Seahawks. I was totally shocked they was able to go in there and do that in Seahawks Stadium. But like we said before, these defenses need to get on. These defenses not looking too good. These first 2 games of the season, there's no reason why Tennessee should be able to come back like that and get all those yards and those points.
Yeah.
Especially with that Jamal Adams on that defense or that Seahawks defense.
Right. Yeah, I picked the Seahawks also. I wanted to pick the Titans, and I'm glad to see them pull out the win because, like you said, Brian, they really needed that. They're my division winner, and you start 0-2, that ain't gonna cut it. But it's hard to go to Seattle and win, and you see, it took overtime for them to do it. The Titans, they're right back to what they were doing last year. It seems like where these slow starts. I don't know if y'all remember last year, they would have these slow starts, and then they would get going. Keep that they need to learn to get out the gate faster. They got this big running back, hold the ball, methodical drives down the field, score. Let Henry start wearing them down early. But it was a good game. I caught the end of it, the overtime session. But I picked the Seahawks and I got it wrong.
Marcus, you see what Big Red said about Lockett?
I see.
I don't know. I feel like Lockett plays a little bit more, throughout the year, a little more than 5.
I mean, he does put up a couple stinkers now. Reg is right on that.
Yeah, he will. But is that him or is that because right? And is that because Russell's running for his life?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
I am. I'm wearing a cap for 2nd week straight. The Tennessee Titans, and I'm the only one to do this. I figured that they had to go back to King Henry. They had to pretty much get back to the running ways, and they did. They had a slow start with it, but they finally did, and he came out with a monster game. This game should have been won by Seattle, but they gave it up at the end. I don't know what to say about the defenses again on here. It's gonna take a while for these teams to catch and play some defense, but the Titans pulled it out, and I'm happy. And I chose the Titans.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the Sunday. Yeah. We're gonna move on to the Sunday night game where we had the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Chiefs gift wrapped one for the Ravens, but the Ravens did play. You know, they played another game like keeps saying, no defense. This game probably saw the worst defense of the week, in all honesty, because the stuff that you were seeing out there on that field was ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, nobody was tackling, nobody was covering. But the Ravens won this one 36-35. Lamar Jackson was 18 for 26, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Who was it that texted in the group, Lamar's looking like Winston? Did somebody say that?
That was me. That was me.
Marcus, yeah. Leading rusher for the Ravens was, what a surprise, Lamar Jackson. 16 carries,
Lamar
107
Jackson.
yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyson Williams, the running back, was 13 carries for 77 yards. And the leading receiver was Marquise Brown, 6 receptions, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. On the Chiefs side, Patrick Mahomes was 24 for 31, 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was 13 carries for 46 yards. Leading receiver was Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 109 yards, 1 touchdown. I'll go first. Like I said in the intro to this one, this was just ugly football for me. I was shocked at the Ravens defense, but even like Kansas City's defense was just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. You remember the pass, and this was on the Ravens. You remember the pass Mahomes hit Kelce on, and he rumbled down the field.
Yeah, scored a touchdown on that.
Yeah, did you see what the Chiefs lineman jumped out of the way of Kelce, and when he hit the ground, immediately went and blocked the Ravens defender out of the play, so he couldn't get. It was crazy. That was the worst defense. That play right there alone just signified the whole game. It was ridiculous. and Baltimore, can Lamar throw the ball, please? I mean, I know he threw 26 times, 18 yards, 239 yards, but come on, man. Bottom line is, both teams played bad defense, in my opinion. Their offenses were clicking, but the only reason the Ravens really won this game is because Helaire fumbled that ball. Because if he doesn't fumble that ball, that game's over. The Ravens are getting that ball back. Or if they are, they're getting it back down 2 scores. So I picked the Chiefs, and I got it wrong. Marcus?
I also picked the Chiefs. So I think the difference in this game was each team, I think, had 2 turnovers. And I was really worried about Lamar when he threw those first 2 picks, especially one for a pick 6. But I heard Shannon Sharp say this week, there's a difference when it happens. Lamar's picks were early in the game, and the Chiefs' turnovers were late in the game, and that was the big difference is when they happened. Mahomes, he shouldn't have thrown that ball, got that interception. He should have just went down, took the sack. Sometimes, as great as Mahomes is, sometimes you got to remember you're just human, and just you can't always wiggle your way out of a situation. Like we've been saying this whole show, I don't know what's going on with defenses. Defense is looking terrible. I'm very surprised at the Ravens defense. I'm even more surprised at the Chiefs defense. They got to get it together if they're going to be contenders. There's no point in having this awesome offense, even though Mahomes can walk down the field basically at will, it seems. If your defense can't make at least one stop, they just got to do better. They have to. But I picked the Chiefs, and I picked wrong.
Brian?
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs on this one, man, because like I said, in the first half, man, when he threw those 2 interceptions to Honey Badger, man, and they were down at one point like 28-17, I turned the TV off. I went to sleep. I said, "This is over. The Chiefs gonna get another win."
You did what?
Lamar. I died. I went to bed. I didn't find out till that morning that the Ravens had won this game.
That was a great game, though. How you talking about a great game?
Because it was, I don't know, man. I just thought that they wasn't gonna be able to keep up with them. They couldn't stop them. You know, they were scoring all the time. I just figured at that point they were up by 2 scores. That was it. And I was asleep. But the Ravens put up 481 total yards, 251 on the ground. And then the fun fact of this one is that this is Mahomes' first loss
In September.
Since 2016 when he was still in college.
Wow.
So that's a long streak that the Ravens. And then now everybody can say, Lamar, get that money. Baltimore pay him. If you were concerned about what he can do, he beat the team that y'all needed him to beat. Get that boy his money.
You're not paying them.
They're going to pay him,
but they need to.
They're not.
How they do? I think they have faith in him. I mean, because they
I
went
don't think
for
they
it.
have faith in him.
They went for it on that 4th down because
They ran the ball, and they knew. I mean, he could get a yard.
But the coach asked Lamar, so I feel like he got confident. They're going to.
But the coach already knew the answer to the question.
Right. That was for the TV.
I do too. I think that was hamming it up for TV.
It was for the TV.
They're going to pay him.
Let's hear it.
For the second game of this week, I chose the Ravens. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I was sweating that first half. I was. But this hat could have been Dunn's hat. I was worried about it. They rely so much on Lamar that you're gonna have to be careful with that. Kansas City defense, and we talk about Mahomes not winning. This is Lamar's victory against them since playing them. Kansas City's been kryptonite so far through his career, through his playing. I really didn't think that they were gonna get a chance to come back and win this game, to be honest with you. But I'm happy that they did. I thought they were. You talk about an early must win. With all the injuries that Ravens had, they needed this game to keep them going and keep them going forward. They actually needed this game more so than Kansas City did. I chose the Ravens and they were victorious, so I'm wearing a cap again.
All right, so last
now
game
you can take it off.
Last game we're going to review. Not a lot to really talk about with this one. The Packers and the Lions. Packers won this one 35-17. Wasn't really a close game. Aaron Rodgers was 22 of 27, 255 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jared Goff was 26 of 36, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jared Goff was the leading rusher for the Lions, 4 carries, 46 yards. Aaron Jones was the leading rusher for the Packers, 17 carries, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Leading receiver was Devontae Adams, 121 yards on 8 catches, no touchdowns. T.J. Hawkinson, 8 receptions, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. I picked the Packers. I got this one right. Wasn't really a good game. This is the game you should have went to sleep on. Right.
Yeah, I went to sleep on this one too.
Okay.
But it was. Did you say I could go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It was good. The first half. I mean, the Lions gave the Packer fans a little scare, man, taking the lead 17 to 14 into the half. But I guess they forgot to bring their offense back out at halftime. I guess they thought the game was over because they didn't score any more points the rest of the game. And the Packers just went up and down the field. Aaron Rodgers is feeling good about himself, thinking that this is some type of redemption and talking smack of him on the radio and everything. But I'm still not feeling this Packers team. Yeah, you beat the Lions, but you're supposed to beat the Lions. I still don't think they're on track. And the fact that they had the Lions in this game, and that defense is still atrocious. That's another defense that's going to need a whole lot of work if you plan on going to the championship game. But I picked the Packers. I picked this one right. It was easy pick.
Mark.
You said Mark.
Yeah, this one. I mean, you talking about a game of. You talking about a game of 2 halves. Detroit came out and pretty much was going blow to blow with them the first half, and then Green Bay came out the second half and pretty much took the life out of him. They bit him in the kneecaps on this game on the second half. I took the Packers, and the Packers won it. So,
Marcus.
I picked the Packers as well. Like Brian said, they're supposed to beat Detroit at at home in Green Bay. So what much to say about this? You expect this. So this wasn't a hard pick.
All right, so we're gonna go into the picks
Hey,
for this week.
We're gonna give our totals.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I was 3-3.
I was 4-2. What was you, Brian?
Same thing, 4-2.
And Mark.
Mark,
Shut up, Mark.
For the first time, 6-0, all 6 games.
All right, we only picked 5
Oh, wow.
games, so I already 6.
We picked 6 games.
Yeah, I know. Shush,
It's
Mark.
6.
Is that the first time anybody's done that on the
No.
show?
No, I've been perfect a lot.
I noticed the
I
first
don't
time
know.
I've done it.
I think it's the first time.
This first
No,
time
it's
I've
not.
done it.
We could go back.
All right.
I'll get the tapes for the next show. I'll tell you.
Thank
what
you.
days.
Thank you.
Keeping the
Thank you for acknowledging that, Herman. Thank you so
keeping
much.
the show.
So you gonna go back 88 shows and find?
Yeah, I'll go to all 88 shows. I'll tell y'all when I was great. Or I'll just go through my paperwork. I'm like, no, damn, I know it's going.
All right, let's keep it moving because we're running a little over time. So let's get these picks in, kind of speed it up. Let's not be long-winded, gentlemen. First game is the Thursday night game. We got the 2-0 Panthers taking on the 1-1 Texans in Texas. Ryan has the spread, but we're gonna start. I'm gonna start, and I'm going with Panthers. Texans on rookie quarterback. They ain't got no quarterback, and they already
Davis
sorry,
Mills?
so-
What do you don't know the legend of Davis Mills?
Yeah, why don't you tell us about it when you pick?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. I picked the Panthers in case y'all didn't hear that. Go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, Panthers giving up 7.5. Panthers are giving up 7.5 because of Davis Mills. Panthers.
Mark.
Donald
He picked the Texans.
is throwing good. He threw for over 300 yards, and it looks like a new man and a new. I'm taking the Panthers on this one too.
Marcus.
I'm also taking the Panthers. Like I don't believe in the legend of what's his name, Miles Davis or what? What's the guy's name?
Davis Miles, man.
See?
Davis Miles.
Davis Miles.
I don't believe in the legend.
You should be believing the legend of Miles Davis. He was a fucking-
If Deshaun was playing, I would pick the Texans, but he's not, so I'm picking the Panthers.
All right. So the next game is the Sunday game. We got the Colts traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans coming off a big overtime win in Seattle. Mark, who are you picking on this one?
King Henry is back. Colts don't have no defense. Titans, man.
Marcus?
I'm also picking the Titans. I picked them to win division, so of course I'm picking the Titans.
I'm rolling with the Titans. Y'all know I'm on that Titans bandwagon. So picking the Titans. The Colts, they don't even know what they're doing at quarterback either.
Yeah.
Brian,
How you injured both your
spring
ankles?
both your ankles. That's crazy. Yeah.
You're dumb.
Oh.
That's how you do it because you're dumb.
Only
Instead of you
cost
just
me-
going down like a normal person, you're trying to break out of a 300-some pound man on your back. But Vegas' Titans are giving up 5 in this one. Did I ever tell y'all the story of Jacob Eason?
No, we don't have time
The
to
same
hear.
story with Davis Mills. He sucks. And the Titans are going to win this
You
game.
don't believe in the legend of Jacob Eason?
At least you said his name right, so it must be better.
All right, now the next game.
How is that a
Next.
primetime game?
You know, but
that's
if you
a
look
great
at the schedule,
question.
it was a lot of good games.
Yeah, but I don't know how this one's not a prime time. We got the 2-0 Bucks at the 2-0 Rams. The Bucks are going to the Rams. The Bucks have just kind of been, I mean, they're scoring up and down the field. I'm not gonna say they're whooping everybody because they barely got away with that first that victory the first week. They got lucky. But
The second week too,
yeah, actually.
the Falcons
No.
tried to come back and beat them.
They did a little bit, but yeah. So we got the 2-0 Bucks taking on the 2-0 Rams. Marcus, who you got with this one?
This is a hard game to pick, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the Buccaneers. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Mark, who you got on this one?
My question is: Would Brady fool around with Ramsey? I'm with you, Marcus. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna take the home team. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Ooh. Brian, who you got?
Man, when I picked this, when I looked at the stats when I did my research, it was a pick'em game. Nobody's getting nothing on this one. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
You kept him with a lone wolf.
Hey,
Wow.
at home.
So
I mean,
I thought I was gonna lone wolf this one this week because I'm going with the Rams too.
What?
Yep, I was playing.
I lone wolf.
Oh, and look, just for the record, these two teams don't have any defense either. The Bucks are 31st and the Rams are 25th.
Wow.
Well, I lone wolf this thing game.
So wait a minute, Marcus, who did you take?
I think the Bucks.
Oh, Marcus, who did Mark pick?
Mark picked the Rams.
Buck picked the Rams.
Wow.
He said I'm
Rams.
taking a, you said, yeah, Mark said he was taking the home team, the Rams. I'm shocked.
All
right.
You know, I don't really listen.
Yeah,
to Mark.
I mean, I feel like this game could go either way, but
You're right, Marcus. Hey, it took forever.
Shut up,
It
man.
definitely could, but all right, let's move it on to the next one. We got the 1-1 Chargers taking on the 1-1 Chiefs in Arrowhead, whatever they named it. Now, this ought to be a good game too, because again,
no defense.
no defenses.
and
So,
an excellent quarterback back in both teams.
yeah, exactly. Brian, who you got in this one?
I think the Chiefs get back on track. It's at home, so give me the Chiefs.
Mark.
Oh, -6. The Chiefs are giving up 6.5. Sorry.
Mark.
Chargers
The
beat
Chiefs
them
are giving up
last year.
2.5. I'm sorry, 2.5. No, I'm right. 6.5. 6.5. I'm tripping.
You know the. Okay.
No, he's
The Chargers beat them last year.
did they?
So are the Raiders.
Yeah, so did the Raiders.
I mean, they just came. Some reason, man. I think I'm going with the Bolts. I'm taking the Chargers in this one, y'all.
Truth be told, the Bolts do have a better defense if we have to.
I mean, technically, they should have a better defense. Yeah. I'm going with the Chiefs. It's hard to go to Arrowhead and win, and the Chargers coming off that loss to the Cowboys, they were moving the ball, and they're going to move the ball on the Chiefs. But did you see how Dallas moved the ball on the Chargers? And you think the Chiefs ain't going to run up and down the field on the Chargers? Mark, you might want to rethink this one before we end the segment.
Truth be told, even Washington ran up.
It's a
and down.
divisional
Yeah,
game, man.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
It's a
Marcus, who
divisional
you got?
game.
I'm going with the Chiefs, and I'm gonna tell you why. Even though I don't have faith in either defense, I'm going with the Chiefs because the Chargers, they had 12 penalties in the game against the Cowboys. 11 of them were on offense.
Yeah.
2 of them called back touchdowns. They're undisciplined. But it's an Arrowhead. I'm definitely going with the Chiefs.
You know, that's a good point, Marcus, too, because Arrowhead's going to be loud as a mug. So
Yeah.
what is that offensive line? False start.
Hit it,
false
Mark. Hit it. Hit it.
You sure? All right. You know, coming back now.
Make sure you get that dunce hat shined
Yeah.
up, Mark.
He gonna go from scholarly to dunce.
You know.
All right. Next game is a Sunday nighter. This one ought to be a good game too. The 1-1 Packers are going to take on the 2-0 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. I'll start it off. I'm going with the 49ers. Even though the Packers had an impressive win, it was against Detroit. Okay. So I'm going with the 49ers. I think home game for the 49ers. I think they're going to pull this one out. Marcus?
This is a tough one for me to pick, but I think I'm going to go with the Packers because it seems like the 49ers, they're the Ravens of the NFC. They've lost all their running backs. I mean, it's too many injuries. But I think it'll be a good game, be a close game. But I don't know, for some reason I'm just gonna go with the Packers.
Mark?
Yeah, I got the 49 division. I'm gonna have to stick and ride with that one. I'm taking the 49ers in it.
And Brian.
Marcus, you talking about running backs. Do you not know who coaches the 49ers and who
I know.
his dad is?
But still,
Do we need to name how
But
many
that's a-
running backs they just plug and play?
that's a lot of injuries though, man.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. The 49ers are going to win this game because I don't trust that dude with the funny hair and the whining in Green Bay lately. That's Aaron Rodgers, if y'all don't know.
Wait, Marcus, you lone wolf the Bucks game, right?
I did, and I along with this one too.
Yeah,
Wow,
along with this
just
one
by
too.
default. Huh?
Ooh.
All right.
But I ain't gonna lie, man. These games are tough.
Oh, they're
I don't
tough.
see.
Yeah.
I mean, I could agree with Marcus on both of his picks to be truthful. Now, Mark, I don't believe none of he said.
Yeah, Mark, I don't know about you and them Chargers, but hey. All right,
Shut up.
so we got the Monday nighter, the NFC East battle between the 1-1 Eagles and the 1-1 Cowboys. Mark, who you got?
I can't say this a bit. I got to choose a winner in this one.
Yes.
Bated breath.
For some
Waiting.
reason, I mean, it's leaning towards the Cowboys. I'm gonna have to say the Cowboys on this one, y'all. But they be
Mark.
down every time. So
Nobody asked you all that. We just asked you who you taking.
You know,
All right.
Pittsburgh let us down too. So.
Right, exactly. Marcus, who you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cowboys. I got Tony Pollard on my fantasy team, and he will be starting this week. He will be starting this week. So I'm taking the Cowboys.
All right. Of course, I'm going with the Cowboys. Home team came off a big win, a big road win against the Chargers. We got some more, couple more people out again this week. But you know that defense came together last week. They really heard how everybody was counting them out, so they played some pretty good football. So I'm going with the Cowboys, and it's the home opener too. So let's get this W. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, Herman. Not only is it the home opener, but it's also opportunity for one of these teams to take the lead in the division. Of course, depending on how Washington does, they can either be tied with them in the division lead or take the lead solely. So, why are you looking at me so crazy, Marcus? Huh?
I'm not looking at you crazy.
It don't like he's about to push a button to do something crazy. Look, back your hands off the controls. You making me nervous. But quietly as kept, the Eagles defense is ranked number 4. So
They
this is a team that actually plays defense.
But you know they
but
just
I
lost
don't
their
think
DN.
Huh?
They just lost their DN.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they lost
I forget what his name is. Brandon.
Because they lost a DN and they lost a guard.
Yeah.
Both of them were named Brandon. But when it's all said and done, the Cowboys will be on top. Cowboys.
All right. So those are our picks. We kind of had to fly through those a little bit because some dudes is long-winded, man.
No, Marcus, you talk too much.
So let's hit it with the final thoughts of the week, and we'll get out of here. Mark, what's your final thought?
Hey man, the only thing I want to say is I'm so happy that I survived the whole show. That's the only thing I'm happy with.
Brian.
Man, we have a special person in our delayed game named Ben Harbaugh, and him and his new wife, Vanessa, tied the knot last week. So we just wanted to wish them congratulations, and congratulations on the win. Ben is also a big Ravens fan. So congratulations, Ben. Congratulations, Vanessa. About time you made her an honest woman.
No, I really didn't have a final thought this week. Just glad, again, football's back. Everybody be safe. If you don't watch UFC, you need to watch UFC. I keep trying.
This show is called Delay of Game, not UFC of Game. Okay.
I keep trying to bring y'all into the UFC fold. You should check it out.
We're not doing a UFC show. Okay.
Good pay-per-view this weekend coming up. Marcus, take it home.
I really don't have a final thought either. I guess I should have came up with something. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the show. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe. You watch us on YouTube. We're on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're also at Twitter at The Live Game 3 and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We will see you next week. Same bat time. Same.
Hey, Marcus, real quick. I got a final thought for both of y'all.
What?
Read the rundown.
Shut up.
I read the rundown.
Yeah, and it says on there, final thoughts.
I was preparing the rundown. That's why I didn't come up with a final thought. How about
Herbert, hold up. Has the final thought ever not been on the rundown?
I just know nothing inspired me for a final thought this week. I got nothing to say. I don't got nothing. What can I say?
Right, well, I'm gonna need you
You
to
ain't got
find
nothing. You ain't got
something.
nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, my final thoughts are always going to be stay safe. All right.
Oh, Lord.
And I'll come up with other ones too. But yeah, so
Anyway, before
Oh,
Brian,
good luck to Ben. You know, we've been not that Ben. Ben Pittsburgh Steelers. He all broke up.
Marcus, go ahead and take us out of here.
yeah, take us out, man.
same bad time, same bad channel. Peace.
Davis.
Peace.